Hi and welcome to the Wilson Chalas YouTube channel. We are dedicated to preserving and sharing Zambia's rich history through topics like culture, politics, finance, and education. From traditional ceremonies to trending stories, parliament proceedings, and everyday voices, we bridge Zambia's past with its future. Join us in building a timeless digital archive. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and now let us explore the story you've been waiting
leaving
for.
a nation years since the passing of Michael Sata, the former president
And
of
here
Zambia.
is what happened.
In honor of this remarkable event,
Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your trusted source for balanced commentary, analysis, documentaries and latest development from Zambia and beyond. In today's video, we'll carefully examine today's topic by separating the facts from opinions, providing context and helping you understand why this story matters. I encourage you to watch until the end because the last section always contains the most important concept that you need to watch. Now let's start
Ministry of
the
Finance.
video.
The Ministry of Finance is tasked with collecting government revenue and also allocating expenditure. And the Ministry of Finance does that through a national budget. And in the national budget, before the year begins, somewhere in October, the Ministry of Finance presents to Parliament a list of possible revenue streams. So they say this is a tax we are going to collect. This is a non-tax revenue we are going to collect, like fees for passports, RATSA fees, land rates, and all those things. And this is what we are going to collect. And we intend to spend on ABCD. And you've seen what we want to spend on to improve, for example, the lives of the people is more than the revenue that we are going to collect from tax and non-tax. So we have inserted the debt finance, meaning we want to borrow this amount of money. Now they can borrow through treasury bills domestically, or they can go and borrow outside the country. Yes. Budget is passed and the Ministry of Finance starts collecting revenue and starts spending, building your schools, building your roads, social cash transfer and all these things. From what I've mentioned, there's no reserve there. Because the Zambian government, Ministry of Finance, never budgets for foreign reserves. That is not the duty of the Ministry of Finance. That is fiscal policy, which is a preserve of the Ministry of Finance. Then we have another institution called the Bank of Zambia. The Bank of Zambia is the primary monetary authority in the country. What do I mean? The Bank of Zambia is the institution tasked to ensure that the Zambian kwacha is stable, that you and me are able to buy goods and services in a stable currency, and also if we want forex, we are able to buy forex and import whatever we want to import without questions. For that purpose, the Bank of Zambia has commercial banks that operate in the country. Those commercial banks, they are the ones that sell you and me dollars. Then the Bank of Zambia is the bank to banks. So when those banks keep those dollars in the bank, those dollars belong to you and me, clients. They are not part of the foreign exchange reserves. But the Bank of Zambia is aware that one day you can have a situation whereby you come to your bank and say, I want to order a VITS from Japan, for example. Here is a 40 pin kwacha, which translates into $2,000, perikoma dollars to be in Japan. The bank will not tell you, see, they will send immediately. Whether they are not to show that there is no dollars. So if that bank does not have money and you give them that instruction, do you know who comes to their aid? The Bank of Zambia gets money from its reserves and sends that sells. The bank gives kwacha to Boss gives the dollars and the money shipped to Japan. So where do those reserves come from? Bank of Zambia is an independent institution, independent from government. There's what we'll call Bank of Zambia independence. It's independent of the central government. Of course, the Bank of Zambia, tasked with monetary policy of the country, works hand in hand with the Ministry of Finance. But these two are
Hi
separate.
guys, sorry, we just have to pause this video. According to the new YouTube policy, we just have to leave a significant commentary in the video. So if you enjoy this video, please remember to subscribe, like and share with your friends and families. Turn on the notification button so that you are able to see the video always when I post. And don't forget to watch this video up to the end for you to enjoy the full content of
So the Bank of
our
Zambia has its
videos.
own money. Mind you,
Leave a positive
banks,
comment in the
give
comment
it
sections.
deposits.
It helps
it's a bank.
us to
So
improve
banks give
our
it
channel.
deposit, and it's a little
rather
money, makes
than
profits and so on,
bad
and it's
comments.
an institution that is tasked with
This
printing
video
money in
will
the Republic.
continue very
So
shortly.
when Bank of Zambia,
Stay with me.
to keep those reserves, Bank of
Continue
Zambia will keep
watching your video.
US dollars, now Chinese yuan, and three other currencies as prescribed by the IMF. Those are known as reserve currencies. These currencies are currencies of countries who are the highest exporters in the world. I think highest, 5 or 6. So Chinese yuan, US dollar, Great British pound, euro, and so on and so forth. Bank of Zambia can keep. But the currency that we use for international trade mostly is the US dollar. So much of our reserves are the US dollar. So where does Bank of Zambia get it from? It gets it from by buying from the domestic market. So if you and me, companies, do not export things and we are paid dollars, Bank of Zambia won't have forex. And if Bank of Zambia doesn't have forex, the monetary system is going to collapse. So Bank of Zambia, when an exporter, for example a mine, or let's assume, let's say Trade Kings, I'm not advertising them, I'm just mentioning so that it sinks to the people. Trade Kings exports things to Congo. Yeah? Masip, whatever they call it, they export to Congo. Then the Congolese are going to pay us dollars. When that money comes back to Zambia, Trade Kings pays salaries in kwacha. So they'll go to the bank, and sell those dollars. Now, in Zambia, banks also buy and sell dollars because there's a demand for kwacha and there's the demand for forex. So banks are constantly buying or selling. So Bank of Zambia is also a bank, and it will also purchase part of those dollars. So it purchases to ensure that at all times there's a forex, one, to meet citizens' needs for forex. As we are talking, I'm holding a pen, it was imported.
Yes.
Dollars went there. So if there was no dollar, this pen was not going to exist in the Republic. When you want to import a car, you want to import food, even the internet bundles, some people are listening to us on social media. The internet is paid from abroad. Starting, you pay in dollars. With no dollars at the central bank, you won't be able to pay for starting because there will be no dollars. So Bank of Zambia buys from the open market. That's why they say we need to export more. And 80% of the forex in Zambia comes from copper and cobalt. These two minerals, copper and cobalt. Then now there are times when government also has needs. Government has borrowed money from outside the country. They collect kwacha from taxes because debt service is put in the budget. They collect taxes in kwacha, go to the Bank of Zambia and say, Bank of Zambia, because the government banks with the central bank, banker to the state, to say, okay, Bank of Zambia, here's so much kwacha, give us dollars and pay on our behalf the debt. If Bank of Zambia goes with those kwacha, government goes with those kwachas to the Bank of Zambia to say, give me dollars, and the Bank of Zambia doesn't have dollars, it's catastrophe, we are going to default. Now, if there's few dollars in the country, that's when now you start having a toilet paper currency, where it's worthless. At the moment, Malawi is facing a similar crisis, where there is no forex. I think they have about $500 million in reserves. I need to counter check that figure. That's why now they have two exchange rates, one on the black market, one at the official exchange rate. It's very difficult for them to get forex. Even if you send dollars there, you won't get them. You see, Zimbabwe has failed to get a currency because they messed up. You know, you only mess up once by not having a reserves and collapsing your currency, and you never go, because when your currency collapses, it means that the citizens, your own citizens, will never have trust in your currency again. Yes. So it will be very difficult for you to have a currency.
But then the Zambian people are still talking about, now that you've explained a little bit in depth on what reserves actually means, the argument here, I think that we're hearing for the average Zambian is, what's the point of having all this money when they're not feeling it on the ground as the Zambian average citizen?
But how are they not feeling it?
The cost of living, others will still say, we have so much money in reserves, but millimil is still high.
But
the prices of all these goods that we're buying is still quite high. So how do you explain that for the average Zambian, for them to understand that?
Because reserves and cost of living, these are two different things. Although reserves have an effect on the cost of living, and I'll explain to you why. Last year, $1 was equal to 28 kwacha. If you wanted to buy a $1,000 iPhone, you needed 28,000 kwacha.
This situation may also create future debate should Zambia develop clearer laws on burial wishes for the former presidents. Should a written will carry more weight? And how can the country balance the wishes of a family with national interest? Whether our political views, this is a time for respect.
So they're just wasting their time.
President Lungu saved Zambia from 2015 to 2021.
That's why the kwacha started gaining value.
And his contribution to the country will remain part of our national record.
8,000 kwacha to buy $1,000.
May his soul rest in peace.
Now you need
tell us in the comment section.
18,000 kwacha.
Do you believe
within 1 year,
former president must always be buried in Zambia, or the family have the final decision? And tell us where you are watching from.
As a result of inflation.
This is Wilson Shala's YouTube
channel.
Please
for a persistent period of time, meaning that your money every year was losing value by over 20%. Of course, the cost of living is going to be. I remember in 2021, I think it was 24% inflation rate, meaning your money, your salary lost value by 24%. Now, in 5 years, it has lost by 100%. You know what I mean? Huh? So, all these things, of course, the cost of living is going to go high. Now, the inflation rate is 6%, 6.5 or something percent, meaning that now your earnings are losing value at a low rate. For you to be able to catch up, your salaries or your earnings to catch up to meet the cost of living, there are two things that need to happen. The long one is to wait for your salaries in the next few periods your salaries to increase more than the inflation rate. For example, if it increases by 10, 20, 15, you catch up with the cost of living. It takes 2-3 years. 4 years sometimes. That's the longest route. The quickest route is the strengthening of the Zambian kwacha, which we have achieved as a country. So what happens is that if you were getting 56,000 kwacha, okay, let me use examples that a panga says, but in Samush, I want to use.
As we conclude today's discussion, remember that every major story has different perspectives, and understanding those perspectives helps us become better informed citizens. The purpose of this channel is not only to report or comment on events, but always to educate and encourage respectful discussions and promote critical thinking based on public available information. Whether you agree or disagree with today's topic, we encourage you to express your views respectively in the comment sections. Health debate is part of democracy, provided it remains respectful and constructive. If you learned something new today, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You can also explore our playlists featuring Zambian documentaries, parliament highlights, trending stories, educational content, and more. Thank you.
Let me use my examples are panga sense. But in Samush, I want to use. Okay, if you are getting 28,000 kwacha last year, your salary was only. Okay, if you are getting 18,000 kwacha, realistic salary, 18,000 kwacha, last year, your salary was about $600. Now your salary is $1,000. Hasn't your salary increased? But the shops, the people that sell in the shops, even me as a businessman, the only way you can worship the mitengos is by finding cheaper markets. So, for example, me, this time I don't even go and buy electronics in the shop. While work website per internet, cannot support field. I'll buy a TV from South Africa and bring it here. I'm telling you, there's an item I bought in Zambia. It cost 28,000 kwacha because it's hot stock, and people think we are down. We are used to those prices. It was costing 28,000 kwacha. Landing taxes, everything here in Zambia, I paid 12 pin. I was in the profit margin that is going into that. So, and I went to that shop and saw them. Your thing cost 28. Me, I bought 12 pin landing here. It's at home. No, the prices will come. So, as more people do that, you are going to see the shop owners are going to start reducing the price.
So when Brian Mundwile and Makeb Zulu...
No, don't mention any politicians. They were discussing economics.
But we obviously have to mention what politicians have to say. When the opposition speaks to the fact that when they come into power, they will ensure that they use the reserves to cushion the situation of the Zambian people when it comes to the high cost of living. Do you think that is possible for the Zambian
people? I would like to assume that we are not referring
Yes,
to...
yes, we're talking about the opposition.
No, we're not talking about the opposition. Mine is an academician. I don't want to help the opposition to win election. I don't want to help the ruling party to win election. Mine is just to speak, to explain, because we fight ignorance as lecturers. So I want to fight ignorance.
So is it possible to say that the
It
reserves
is
can push
impossible
Okay.
to get money from the reserves and pump it into whatever people want to do, and I'll explain to you why. There's what is known as Bank of Zambia Independence. It's enshrined in the laws of the Republic of Zambia. There are two instances. Zambian government, Ministry of Finance. Remember, Ministry of Finance only spends through a budget. There are two instances. Ministry of Finance can get money from the Bank of Zambia. One is by collecting taxes and having kwachas, then going to exchange those kwachas at Bank of Zambia for dollars. Meaning they should come with their own kwachas. They should have made that revenue somewhere else. And that's how they can exchange it. They can have access to those dollars. So that when the Bank of Zambia sells the dollars to the Zambian government, it has kwachas, which it can again go back on the open market to buy the same dollars and replace on the reserves. This is normally done to safeguard the integrity of the monetary system, for the monetary system not to collapse. That's instance one. Number two, the other way the Zambian government can have access to the reserves is by borrowing from the central bank. Now there is a limit as to how much money the Zambian government can borrow from the central bank. If the Zambian government borrows more than that limit as enshrined in the law, the officials at Bank of Zambia will be arrested, and the officials from the Zambian government will be arrested. That is a very huge case, borrowing above the limit. The reason why that is in the law is because sometimes government can pressure the central bank for all those monies and deplete the resources, therefore leaving the monetary system to collapse. I know it sounds sexy to say, we $6 billion, $3 billion to be paid, and everybody loves it. Colleagues, when you do not play with the monetary system, when the kwacha starts losing value, things are not good. Why? Because most of the things that we consume are imported. Even the companies that are producing in Zambia, they import their raw materials. So when the kwacha loses value, it means it becomes expensive to import those things into the country. And if it becomes expensive, then the prices are going to be expensive. This cost of living that you are talking about is caused by the same thing. It's caused by high inflation rate, and it was caused by the loss of value for the Zambian kwacha. The Zambian kwacha should never breach 20 kwacha per dollar. Never.
Okay.
Once it breaches that barrier, that's and when the kwacha starts losing value and the cost of goods starts increasing, yeah, it's very difficult to recover. So, colleagues, the mistakes that we have made in the past, this is the price that we are doing what we are paying, and it takes time to come out from there. This it takes time to, even me, if you put me as president, it's going to take time for me to reverse.
Okay.
But I know people don't have patience. They have no patience. But unfortunately, that's how it works. That's why we need to be making proper, sound economic decisions. That's why, as an academician, I'm guiding both the ruling government and the opposition not to lie to the Zambian people and not to mislead that. Not to say, no, it can't happen.
All right. So you're still listening to Capital FM 99.7, and we have Mr. Havazoka in the
Professor Luvinda Havazoka.
Professor Luvinda Havazoka. He's corrected. He's professor, and he's in the studio. So all the economic questions that you have.
Professor of the University of Zambia.
They say the only university in Zambia.
The only university.
Okay, we have him in the studio today, and we're talking about all things the Zambian economy. And you can definitely call in at exactly 9 hours and add your voice, comment, and contributions. We are live on Facebook and Capital FM 99.7, as well as Smart Eagles. Now, Professor, you have talked about how you are advising both the ruling and the opposition to basically give realistic promises. Now, heading towards the 2026 general elections, what are some of the policies you'd like the opposition or the UPND to look at to ensure that the Zambia economy is actually moving in a more progressive manner?
You know, kudos to the current point. Of course, there have been some deaths in Mazabuka and in Wapro, Northern Province. But overall, I think that the elections have been peaceful. This is a very huge, pat on the back. We need to pat ourselves on the back for, I think we have experienced the first elections that are this calm. I don't know where we are going forward to. I think this is the only election where we are discussing ideas. And, I was talking to people that in 2026, you can't lie to Zambians. Next time, they will Google it to find out what it means, and they'll make their own judgment. So it is becoming increasingly difficult for the politician to lie to citizens. Yeah, but of course we still have challenges in terms of citizens being able to understand this particular issue. So my advice to political parties, citizens are expecting more of what you can do for them, but please, let's avoid telling them non-existent things. And also, let's not discourage, things like saying that Wakariom Sebo, Marizevs, Tayava, they are useless, inflation in Inshi. When you tell citizens inflation and is rubbish, and they believe that because they believe, some will believe, and then inflation has become 22%. They won't know where the cause of the problem are. Mind you, we are also raising the young generation. When the young generation thinks having high inflation is good, colleagues, inflation, when we were growing up, we were inflation, hyperinflation, where prices were changing every day. You go in the shop, sugar in 10 kwacha, Milo in 12 kwacha, either day in 14 kwacha, either day in 15 kwacha. People start panicking, the black market, sender. So things like reserves, this should be protected. And as a professor in banking and financial economics, reserves, that's part of the function of my profession. That's why you see I'm talking about them. These are sacred. They are very much sacred. They should be. And macro